This top-selling weight loss medication has taken TikTok by storm in the past few months.
Ozempic. I've been on Ozempic for 8 weeks now.
And rumor has it that celebrities are taking this drug in droves to shed pounds rapidly, explaining how Kim Kardashian allegedly lost 16 pounds in only 3 weeks. While some rejoice at finally having an FDA-approved weight loss drug that actually works, others have raised concerns about the potential risks and side effects of using such medications.
It does matter if you don't have diabetes because this medication is not completely, like any medication, 100% safe. It can be very dangerous.
But what's the truth here? Is there more behind Kim's weight loss than rumors say? And what does that mean for you? After days spent scooping out the good, the bad, and the ugly, I unwittingly came face to face with the dark truth of this industry that surprisingly actually changed how I view weight loss drugs. I don't know whose side I'm on anymore. To explain, we must start with the trend's origin story. In May 2022, Kim Kardashian arrived at the Met Gala having told Vogue that she had lost 16 pounds in 3 weeks in order to fit into a dress once belonging to Marilyn Monroe. What did you do? Reporters died to know. Her answer? Wear sauna suits twice a day, run on the treadmill, completely cut out all sugar and all carbs, and just eat veggies and proteins. But being only 5'2", many people doubted it was possible to lose weight that quickly as a petite woman. Thus, rumors began to circulate that she had used Ozempic or Viva. Both are just brand names for the same underlying medication, semaglutide.
Speculation persists that Kim Kardashian used Wegovy to squeeze into the famous Marilyn Monroe dress she wore at the Met Gala.
Now, Kim never responded to these claims, but it didn't matter. The stage was set. In one summer, hashtags Ozempic and Ozempic challenge snowballed into more than 250 million views as TikTokers showcased their impressive weight loss results after using the injection. Then that fall, Variety magazine published an investigation that suggested many A-list actors were using it to stay as skinny as possible, with injections becoming simply part of their grooming routine. But rumor or not, people evidently are seeing results. So what does it actually do? Ozempic, Wegovy, and semaglutide all refer to the same drug, which was initially developed to help manage type 2 diabetes by mimicking a hormone that regulates insulin and blood sugar levels. But as a side effect of insulin regulation, it also helps slow down digestion so people feel full faster, experiencing fewer cravings, and thus eat fewer calories to lose weight. Since its inception, many studies have found that the injection can help patients lose on average 10 to 15% of their body weight in 68 weeks. And in 2021, FDA approved the new drug treatment for chronic weight management for the first time in 7 years. At the time, I had thought this was just another fad that'll pass soon. But to my surprise, several people saw success with it after years of failing to lose weight using natural methods. Their stories went something like this. Meet Sally, who had been struggling with her weight for as long as she could remember. Despite her best efforts, she just couldn't seem to control her eating long enough to shed the extra pounds. So when she saw her friends share their weight loss success with the injection, she was more than willing to give it a shot, literally. After shopping around for a doctor willing to write her a prescription, she started the injections immediately. They costed around $800 to $1,500 a month since her insurance didn't cover it. But to her, that was worth it. At first, everything seemed to be going great. She noticed herself feeling satiated on less food and almost no cravings for the first time in decades, something lots of Ozempic users experience. She was losing weight and feeling more energetic and confident. For the first time in her life, she felt she was eating like a normal person. As the months went on, Sally began to experience some strange side effects. She started to have stomach pains and diarrhea, and she felt constantly nauseous. Despite these unpleasant symptoms, Sally decided to stick with the medication, hoping that things would get better. But unfortunately, they only seemed to get worse. Her kidneys started failing, her mouth started swelling, and she lost the ability to eat solid food. Finally, after seeing the ENT, they found an unexplainable lump on the left side of her thyroid. Though benign, it wouldn't stop growing. Now, while not everyone experiences severe side effects like these, they can happen. Ozempic even lists these side effects on their website, including the kidney failure Sally experienced, gallbladder problems, and pancreatitis.
Doctors say if it's not used correctly, it can lead to severe problems. A 14-year-old girl from New Haven used Ozempic for diabetes. Her mother says it was prescribed by her doctor, but she had a bad reaction to it and ended up in the hospital for a week with acute pancreatitis.
It was just a horrific experience for me, just watching, your baby there and so much pain.
In addition to these, Ozempic carries a boxed warning about thyroid C-cell tumors occurring in rats. And while the risk is unknown in humans, it may be why Sally experienced a lump on her thyroid. Finally, after several weeks of suffering, she decided that she couldn't take it anymore. She went back to her doctor and told him about the side effects she had been experiencing. But when they discussed going off the drug, he warned her that she likely regain her lost weight again. And research in fact does show that participants who go off Ozempic end up regaining 2/3 of their lost weight back after they stop taking it for a year. The continued usage would continue to yield results. That brings up the scary question. Is Ozempic meant to be a lifelong drug for those who rely solely on injections to lose weight? Popular magazines seem to claim this will likely be the case, with one doctor claiming that if the medication is stopped and patients go back to their previous eating habits because of increased appetite, they will regain any weight loss and return to their original blood sugar levels. Of course, this would cause people like Sally to think, this means I'll have to buy $800 to $1,500 or 5 figures a year for the rest of my life. But the problem here is that we simply don't have enough longitudinal studies on a drug this new to really know what are the probabilities of long-term effects, whether you keep taking it or not. But there's one thing we do know, and it's probably the most disturbing part. Apparently, this trend has prompted so many people who do not have diabetes to take the drug that it's caused severe shortages for those actually with diabetes to be unable to access it anymore.
There's been a real supply chain issue with Ozempic, and the company has been unable to meet demand for all the people who are consuming it.
We started to notice some phone calls from our patients who are on this medicine, our patients with diabetes that are on this medicine, saying, hey, my pharmacy can't supply the medication, they're short, can we send the prescription to this other pharmacy? And over time, it just became very apparent that something had changed.
Understandably, this has caused a lot of distress and anger among people who actually need the medication to help manage their type 2 diabetes. And at this point in my research, I felt legit conflicted. I don't know whose side I'm on anymore. On one hand, obviously, the side effects, long-term dependency on a costly drug, and global shortages are dangerously concerning. On the other hand, I relate to those people who feel that for the first time in their lives, they can eat normally again. I understand why they want this to work. I remember back when I was overweight, feeling out of control with my Coke and pizza addiction, like I was broken when all my lean friends could seemingly eat whatever they want but not me. Had I been presented with a short-term solution, would I have taken it too? Hard to say, but knowing that I did manage to reprogram my brain to no longer crave junk using natural methods and have coached many other weight loss students to do the same, I can confidently say that all hope is not lost. First, let's back up. Remember that Ozempic or semaglutide don't magically make you drop fat. It just helps you stay in a calorie deficit because it dials down your hunger and cravings through blood sugar management. You don't need it to lose fat as long as you can stay in a calorie deficit naturally and find ways to manage hunger and cravings, which I teach extensively about in this video. Now, this may take lifestyle changes, practice, and some trial and error, but the compounding effect of making small changes over time lead to lifelong health, energy, and confidence without feeling dependent on a crutch or feeling like you need to spend 5 figures a year for the rest of your life. But if you feel so overpowered by your cravings that you feel you must use medication to help you, and there's absolutely no way you can eat in a calorie deficit otherwise, then you can use it. If you're okay being on drugs forever, assuming supplies will remain in stock, then that's your choice too. Once you understand the trade-offs of any decision you're making, whether it's about Ozempic or some other weight loss hack you come across in the future, making a choice is no longer about right or wrong. It's about, given the trade-offs, how can I use this to serve me in the short versus the long term? There's no right or wrong way, only what truly serves you. Now, I know I talked about building healthy habits naturally, but how to actually do that? Through the number one factor, psychological control. You can achieve this in 2 ways. One, if you want a tried and tested, proven system that teaches you how to create psychological control so you can build healthy habits and obtain lifelong health and confidence, then check out the free sneak peek into my Badass Body Boss program in the comments and description below. Or if you want to DIY it, then you don't want to ignore this video where I do a 360-degree analysis of Will Smith's weight loss journey to dig up the one hack everyone missed that would have enabled long-term success. And yes, it has to do with psychological control. So you don't want to miss it here. And always remember, you can do it.